Action Heroes where we do an intro all over again because we pressed record, not...
I pressed the wrong button. I'm really sorry. It was a great intro. You'll have to trust us.
No, I've not forgotten everything I did. It's all just really traumatizing now. Well, you've all practiced, haven't you? So, what was I saying?
Subscribe
and like, please. Because
Quiz.
to run a quiz when we hit 50 followers on Twitch, we're at 43 currently, so yes, please do that. And did I say anything else? Help me. Oh, look at this beautiful new overlay that I assume we can see now.
Hopefully.
And whilst I try and see if we are online by logging into Twitch, we are. Lovely. We'll go round and introduce ourselves because it's been a while. It's been a while. What?
It has.
Let's start with. No, not him again because he's switching headphones. We'll go straight to Tom.
Hello, I'm Tom, and I play Magus, who is a Hexblood druid of Circle of Dreams with a bit of a pipe problem and a unicorn's horn at the middle of his forehead. Okay.
No one's ever addressed that, have they?
No, then it's just why would they ask? I mean, everyone has one of those.
That would be rude.
You don't ask a new friend why they're horny.
If you're tuning in for the first time, it doesn't get better than that. Hazel, why not?
Okay, firstly, I'm sorry, I've gone a bit hyper because I've been quite ill for the last couple of days, and I'm finally starting to feel better, and I've just eaten a load of jelly beans. So I apologise. I play Alexander, who is a very pretty boy, half-elf rogue, thief subclass, so he's got climbing speed that angers the DM at times because she forgets. And he is currently stood off to the side, silently weeping, which is the majority of what his character does.
See, last time it was so much more natural. Now we're just repeating ourselves. That sounded accusatory. The DM forgets.
It's still true.
I do. It is true. Jim.
Hello, I'm Jim, currently playing Luca, the undead version of my life cleric from the start of the campaign, who died in the very first episode of this we ever streamed. He's a lovely life cleric priest boy trying to be the same good boy that his once living self used to be, but everyone's a bit creeped out and distrusting of his lovely patchwork face.
And here's what he looked like earlier.
Praise the Mourning Lord.
Have you heard the good word of the Mourning Lord? And Danny. Danny, welcome back.
Thank you, Danny. I play the Watcher, who is a Warforged Ranger who is a Gloomstalker. And it's a couple of 100 years old. He's been dormant for several years, if not decades. So yeah, it's just been awakened.
I'm just looking at your artwork and admiring that hand crossbow that's fused to you. It also looks like maybe a mousetrap. Like, I feel like you've got an Inspector Gadget thing going on that we need to explore.
Could be, yes.
And finally, what's the point, but we'll do it anyway. Matt.
Yeah, I'm Matt. I played Absence the Monk, who unfortunately at the end of the last episode lost his head quite literally, so I'm just here to see the aftermath, really.
Matt is also here. So, previously, the party travelled to Kretsk to meet with the Abbot. They were hoping they could help Absence with some nightmare hauntings he had been having. Whilst they were there, they met an old companion who was killed by the Night Hags, the aforementioned Cedric, now Luca. The Abbot had resurrected them, but Luca has forgotten his memories of being Cedric, and the Abbot has also replaced some of the rotting skin, a missing eye, so he is a Frankenstein monster, if you will. Then what did they do? They went back down into the town of Kretsk, and they found out that Adira Yelensky, an inhabitant of the town, had received a note warning that they would be attacked by a pack of werewolves on the night of the full moon. The party silvered as many of their weapons as they could, which I think ended up with being Hazel's short sword, Luca's mace, and Burgomaster Dimitri's great sword, leaving some ammunition to be silvered for the town in case you all fail and die and they attack anyway. And then you set out to find the werewolves, hopefully parley and avoid any combat at all. You did this with Luca in tow. You headed to the nearby Lake Baratok, where they had previously seen a werewolf, and found a tower, where you reunited with Victor, the son of the deceased burgomaster of Vlaki. Met a Vistani woman named Ez, looking for her teacher Rudolf van Richten, and a wooden construct named the Watcher. At this point, the abbot sent a message to Luca, telling him to return, and Luca said, "Nah." And the abbot decided he would come collect him, because he's his precious boy that he resurrected. He declared that the party wouldn't be able to protect Luca, and he was going to demonstrate that he was right by fighting them. He revealed these wings, flew up into the air, summoned a golden glowing sword, and focusing on Absence, who was previously the most challenging of the ethics of what the abbot's been doing with his experiments, beheaded him. R.I.P. Absence. That takes us back into the top of the round in combat. But first I just wanted to start with a little flashback for Luca. So Luca, as you see Absence's body fall limply to the ground, there is this sensation like a cold, hard stone dropping into the pit of your stomach, and as you look up from the body, you're back at the windmill where people tell you that you died, that you have seen in visions before. You can see this fire raging in the windmill in front of you. You can feel its heat on your limbs. You feel sore. You feel the smoke choking your lungs, and beside Absence is this old woman with skin purple like the colour of plums, pulling her horrific, haggard face into a sickening grin as she cackles and steps over Absence's body. She grabs you with nails sharp like knives, and you're dragged backwards, and you attempt to resist, but your hands are bound. Your eyes are fixed on Absence's lifeless black eyes, and it's like your body is screaming. You are just aching to reach out to your friend. You can feel tears hot on your face, and then as you're propelled backwards and swallowed up by the earth, you are back at the tower, and you have just seen your friend fall. Stuff to bear in mind as we turn to the top of the round with Alessander. What would you like to do?
So, I think at the end of last session, Luca was trying to talk it out with...
Trying to reason with the abbot a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And so I imagine that he's just kind of in the midst of that talk, and then he starts to kind of shut down or whatever. Like, you can tell he's having a moment. And with that, Alexander's going to take his chance. And screaming. Like, high-pitched yell scream. Run forward. I'm in flanking, so I get advantage, don't I?
You do indeed.
So I'm going to take a short sword attack.
It meets, it beats.
Good, good, good. So that's 5 piercing but then we get sneak attack as well. So that's 11 damage for that.
Right.
And then I will take a bonus action offhand attack for a dagger.
Side note, I realised you didn't have the dagger that you found at the Golthius tree in your inventory and put it back in.
Okay, yes, I don't think we'd managed to add it when
We
Eight
got
A.
it, so it's there.
Is it called something in particular?
Seeking dagger,
Okay.
and it is magical.
Okay, 26 to hit.
Oh yeah.
If only that had been on the short sword and I'd rolled better damage. But so damage. It's been so long since I've been in a fight. Do I get sneak attack for any attack, or is it just once per round?
I'm only a DM, Matt.
I think it's one.
Yeah, it's the first time you hit. Yeah.
Okay.
You've got
Per-
advantage,
Per round.
so you get sneak attack.
Thanks, love you guys.
If you don't need advantage, no.
Yes, it's if you've got advantage or if you've got an ally within 5 feet of the enemy.
But so I've already used it once, so I
But she's
don't get
already
it
used it.
You
again.
don't get it the second time. No, it's just like Danny said, it's the first time.
It's a new round.
No,
it's
no,
not
I've
just
used it
second
once
attack.
already.
Yeah, it's already attacked.
Oh, okay.
You didn't notice what's producer swapping between your headphones.
He hasn't got a head. It's hard for him to see these things.
Yeah, we couldn't hear or see.
Yeah, you try it without a head.
So that's 4 piercing damage. And that'll be it.
Very good, thank you. Taking us to Magus.
Righto then, that's how it's going to be, is it? Magus will step forward. If I can move, there we go. And he will take a deep breath in on his pipe, make a little symbol with his hands, and some green kind of glowing light will spin up from the ground and surround the abbot, and he'll hex him. And name strength as the ability check he has disadvantage on. And that will lose my concentration on the entangle I put before. And then I will exhale all the smoke I just inhaled on my pipe and poison spray. A little sort of green puff of smoke comes out of my mouth and goes straight to the abbot and straight to his face, into his face. So like a DC 15 Constitution save.
I would love to.
So
Damn.
that is plus some six for an extra 6 damage for the hex.
King.
So that's
25?
13 poison and 6 whatever hex is. I'm not sure what hex is. Necrotic, I think. Hang on.
Yes,
Necrotic, yeah.
Also 90.
No, that's 19 is the total. I had it on, yeah. So that's
I'm
me.
assuming the abbot reels back and I won't do any damage, but there's a splash zone as he probably ruffles his feathers to get that poison off. Absence is now a zombie being controlled by Victor, so I'm going to move him after Victor. That being said, how do you move someone down in the turn order?
You can just drag, I think, can you not? As a GM.
It's not
You might have to update their number.
Oh, yeah. Matt, do you want to take control of Victor? As well, because I was doing it last time.
No, I'm good.
He just wants to sit back and laugh at you all. There we go. So next up is actually... Let's go back.
Ez.
Ez. Who was in control of Ez?
I can't remember.
I think I
Yeah,
was
I
Lightning
don't think
Bolt,
we chose. Yeah.
but you can all access her if you would like to. She's a cross between a fighter and a wizard.
So go for it, Matt.
Matt
Okay.
isn't here right now.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on being here, but okay.
Or would you
Where is
rather
she?
someone else take it? Because we can do that if you would like, because of absence's death, to be fully absent.
I would like to be absent, please.
Fair enough. You heard the guy. Or I can take another go.
Go ahead. I'm still looking at Victor's character sheet.
Fair enough. Well, what she did last time did a pretty good job. But would she want to use all of those spell slots? I always want to keep something in reserve. I think she'd do a magic missile. Would we be happy with that? It's a guaranteed hit. I'll cast it at second level because she's got the slot. I never know if it's being slow to roll or if I just didn't press the button. Because it's all automated, I don't know how to do it for myself. Okay, so 1d4 plus 1, and we're doing that 3, how many times?
4.
4. So 4. I don't know whether it would work, but... Here we go. I like to think magic missiles sounds like, you know, those fireworks, so you just see... And behind all of that, ow, 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 as they all explode upon contact with the Abbot. Taking us to a Watcher.
Yeah, so he'll pick his literal hand crossbow and fire twice. Well, 3 times. It's got crossbow expert, so when you take an attacks action as a bonus action, you can hit with a hand crossbow and doesn't get a disadvantage with anyone within 5 feet, so it's just a normal roll for all 3 attacks. Plus, last time he done Hunter's Mark, so each one that hits will get an extra d6 of damage.
It's like you knew what you were making or something. Thank you for knowing your character.
The first one's 19.
Hit.
So that's 6 Hunter's Mark damage and 8 piercing damage. That's 14.
What is Hunter's Mark damage? What kind of damage? Sorry.
I think it says. 1 second. Bludgeoning.
Good to know. So, math. Yeah, I'm expecting 2 more attacks. Keep hitting me.
Natural one on the second one, which misses. So that's a bolt shoot off because that's what we said.
Yep.
And the third and final one is at 18.
Yep, hits. Pretty dice.
That's 9 normal damage and 2 hunter's mark damage.
Gotcha. Your damage, you notice, Watcher, is... You're not sure if he has particularly thick skin, but it just doesn't seem to penetrate with the force that you would expect it to. Title
Yeah,
of his
cool.
tape. Moving on. Anyone? Anything else?
No, that's it for him.
I've also just noticed that the Abbot had somehow come out of the initiative order, so I'm rolling for him now. And he would have gone before Esmeralda. Would people be happy for me to take his turn now?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. He's going to... Oh. Matt, you know how we changed all of the Abbot's things around a bit? Whatever happened to that token just before we started, I put him back in and it hadn't saved any of it, so I'm gonna just try and remember all of the stuff that we talked about.
Seems to
Okay.
have lost all his hit points. That
Oh
was a
no,
good round.
that was a good round, but I've also lost my knowledge of what I'd done.
I wouldn't worry.
He's gonna start off. You will see him start to radiate this sort of golden glow, and you will see some of his wounds heal when I can put this in. Yeah, his skin just seems to close up where there are gashes from poison and short swords and bolts. Math. It's an action. And then he's going to... No, he's not, because you've got to do that on someone else's turn. He will... Matt? Sorry, I know you're not here.
Yeah.
Spiritual weapons.
Yeah.
We have
Bonus action.
like fun tokens for that now, don't we?
Yeah. If you cast it, it should just work.
Should just... Well, no, it's not casting. He's already cast it against you. I just didn't have a token for it. And it's not quite spiritual. I need to find a way to make it look... make it present on the board so that people can see it.
Your voice is fading out.
Probably because I'm talking to myself more than anything. I'm just going to put a torch.
No, that'll do.
Yeah, that will do. That's his big great sword that he's been using. And he's not going to hurt his precious little voice, so it's going to be the Watcher. It's gonna be the things I did. I'm just going to have to roll that in.
If that's the hit, that misses. Luckily.
Then it misses. Good for you. And that will have to be his turn. Tom, what will Victor do?
So Victor kind of grins evilly and snaps his fingers and Misty steps. Which we're going to find the spell in the quick thing. And reappears out of the way of the combat back here. And then he will, the hand he just clicked, he'll grab together like that, and frost will start to appear on the hair and on the eyebrows of the abbot. He'll cast frostbite.
Con save. Okie dokie.
Ooh, advantage. Mm-hmm. So nothing happens.
After quite a horrible round, I'm quite happy about that.
And then his zombie will go,
Yep.
well, headless absence, go, oh, and take a swipe at him.
Baby.
We'll figure out how. There we go. Feels
Yes.
warm.
Yeah, probably because he can't see. He's not got a head.
That's it.
Anything else?
No, that'll be it.
Lovely. And I'm going to take the end of your turn to take a legendary action as the Abbot. This has all gone a bit wrong for the Abbot. He is going to teleport. And I need to remember how to do this. Oh, I didn't think it would do that. Because he wasn't going to go over there. I was going to leave him here, but I'm going to put him 50 feet in the air. Your boy is now hovering above you. Taking us to... Did anyone want to do anything with Dimitri?
I was looking at Dimitri earlier, and I think if the Abbot's gone 60 feet in the air, the best thing he can do is a crossbow attack.
Hit me!
Oh, he had to do damage first. I mean, attack first. 19.
It hits.
Only 4 damage though.
Piercing. Well, he's there, isn't he? He's doing his best. Anything else from Dimitri?
No, he's going to stay where he is.
Good boy. Which takes us to you and Luca.
Luca is going to cast Guiding Bolt at 2nd level. Don't fuck me. Oh, I got a natural 1.
Oh,
Bad. Yeah, I can't really do much else in that case.
The Abbot is there. You can see him. You're still getting used to your limbs. You've just been revived. Just I'm guessing like a weak muscle in your wrist. It just fires off to the side at the last.
It's just the raisin and the.
Yeah. Oh, the perils of being a reborn. Anything else for Lucas?
There will probably be a moment. He's probably distracted, like as he's firing it, he's looking over to Absence again, and probably reaching out a hand to place on his shoulder. It's like the sad squeeze of like realizing what's going on. And that'll be Luca's turn, which was fucking helpful.
Wasn't it? And it was all going so well for you guys. It's got to go in my favour sometimes.
I think it's already gone in your favour. You've killed someone.
It's not. It's not about winning. Where are we? Alexander, top of the round.
Okay, so he's 50 foot straight up in the air.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I think the maths works out. So there's going to be 15 feet of movement up to the tower, and then bonus action, bonus action or cunning action, whichever one it is, to bonus action dash. So that's 15, and then I've got another 15 of that up, and then I've got my 30 movement up. So that's 45 feet up in the air. So I'm 5 feet below, but I'm at least now within range to throw a dagger at him. And I have a fancy new dagger, so I'm going to throw that because it'll come back to me. If this doesn't hit, I'm going to be so sad. 19! It hits!
This shining white, well, off-white dagger flies through the air as Alessandro climbs the tower like a monkey.
I was going to say spider, but okay. He's kind of like, he's got one arm jammed into like an arrow slit, and he's kind of using that to kind of force himself against the building, so he's got an arm free.
And it looks fucking cool. You can have it, absolutely. I'm not going to argue with that. Doing math. Anything else?
No, that's all I can do.
And you are now 45 feet above the ground. I just need to remember that I might just do this.
Yeah, so for when you drop me, next.
Sorry. Damage. Magus?
Magus will bend down and pick up a handful of stones if he can on the ground. As he picks them up, they start glowing green. And he throws one from one hand to the other and just lobs it up, yelling, "Get down here, you bloody pigeon!" He'll cast Magic Stone.
Oh, you love a bit of Magus.
Sure, he's not very good.
He's not.
That's a shame. So that'll be about that.
The movement? Nothing else?
No, I'll stay down here. I'm happy.
I'm not going to climb the building.
No.
Back to Abbott time. Do. Sorry, I really should look ahead and think about what I'm doing. I'm just having so much fun. You know what? It's fun. Your hex, Tom. That's on ability checks applied to strength.
It is, yes. Just ability checks, not saving throws.
Yeah.
Not attacks either.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's just too... You're there. He's going to fly 10 feet down over to Alessander. I'll put him here so that we don't get confused. And I think it's a grapple check. Strengthy strength.
Just straight up check. Not dex or acrobatics, right?
You can do dex, can't you? The person
Yeah,
being
think I
grappled
one or
can
the
do
other.
dex if they want, yeah. So is your... Oh god, I need to check these things. Is it... It's contested check, isn't it? For both, not saving
Yeah,
Yeah. Athletics versus acrobatic.
and you'll get disadvantage because they're hex.
That's okay, I just have to. Fine. He's just a cocky bastard, he has to.
My pretty boy is still sitting pretty.
And then bonus action. Our torch is gonna have a go at the Watcher again. That's not stats because I amended it, so ignore that. Oh, come on! I know that doesn't hit.
No.
Well, this is depressing. That's not what we can do. Moving on to Ez. Has anyone had a look, or shall I see what she can do? We want to stay on the offensive. We've got firebolts, magic missiles. She could hold person, that would make him drop.
Yeah, we'll just hold that hold person.
That sounds like a really good idea.
What's the distance on hold person? 60 feet, she could. She'll have to get closer, so we'll just move her. What's with the tower? And we will attempt to hold person the Abbot. Save. Ari bolts. I don't think she has any bonus actions. Checking quickly. Some 10 feet, I'll do that. Nope. Okay, moving on. Watcher.
Yeah, so just see the Watcher turn his head, look up and fire 3 times. Disadvantage though, because it's over 30 feet away. First one's a 12.
Nope.
Second one's a natural 1, so that's another arrow disappeared.
3 gone. I'm sure you'll keep an account.
And that's 15.
Sorry, Watcher.
If you could see, if you could change his facial expression, he'd be frowning, but it's just the same face.
I imagine he's been looking up, and then it's a very significant.
Yeah, the red goes like a little bit, the light goes a little bit red on his face, so he's angry.
Any movement.
No, he's just going to stay there.
Victor, my favourite wizard boy.
You say he's still 50 feet up in the air?
He, we'll call it 45 because he came down to Alessander. I'll amend that now.
Okay, in that case, he will step a bit closer, and he will hold the light for when the Abbot, if he comes into range of 30 feet of him. And then he will have Absence, Shamble, very carefully guiding him. Left one step, forward one step, till he gets round to surround the Abbot.
You move him.
I can't, no. So I'll put him between Watcher and Magus if you can.
There.
That's it, yeah.
You can probably see that lovely little token now.
It's cool, isn't it?
Then, Jim, would you like to do anything with Dimitri? Probably great crossbow.
Yep. Move closer and then heavy crossbow. Attack. It's 15. Shit. Well, that's it for Dimitri then.
He's nice to have around.
Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of extra fodder.
Collateral damage.
Enchant it. I don't want to have to go back to Kresk and go, by the way, your Burgomaster's dead. For Luca, he's going to try another guiding bolt. Hopefully I won't miss this time.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm not looking forward to this.
That's 28 radiant damage.
Oh, is that radiant damage?
It is,
Oh,
yes.
oh, I should know that. I play a cleric. Okay. You loose your firebolt, guiding bolt, and strike him square in the chest, and you will see him just turn to you, and the thought you would expect, you knew it was powerful. You were full of all of these emotions you haven't felt before, but you have. You've just seen your friend fall, and you've let it all out into this spell, and it just doesn't have the force you expect it to. Some of that light just seems to go into him, and he turns to you, and at first he smiles, and then his face falls a little, and he says, "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed."
It's a dying joke. Get over it.
Anything else?
No. Because I can't remember what my bonus actions are. I don't have any.
Heroes show. What are you doing, Jim?
No, nothing else from Luca. In fact, he will move a little over.
You know what?
Shuffle over this way.
I got to use my legendary action, so just before the end of this round, to make sure I make use of it, it's time to go, "Oh well, we tried, Alisander," and he will teleport again. Where shall we put you? Okay, those effects are cool once you know that if you click there, that's where he'll go.
Is he still at the same height? He's just that way.
He is still at the same height, that way. It's not stupid.
Yes, he is.
Alisander.
Okay, so if it's a ranged weapon and it's like 20/60, it's normal up to 20 and then it's disadvantage up to 60, right?
Correct, yes.
Yes. I'm still gonna have to take the. So the dagger comes back, and I'm gonna throw it again. Because he's what, 50? 5, 10, 15. How far away is he?
25.
25. Oh. Not any different now.
Yeah,
Ah,
anyone,
it's-
I didn't describe that last time, anyone that looks up will see that off-white dagger. I can't remember, you did hit, didn't you? Yeah, you hit. Sort of cut through the feathers and then just seem to circle round and come back to Alessander as if it's going to hit him, but he manages to definitely catch it.
It's a boomerang dagger. That makes me happy. So I'll try again. I'm only 5 feet out though, so disadvantage is annoying, but we'll go with what we've got.
Yes, I knew what I was doing when I did that.
19 to hit.
It hits.
Seven piercing. And then... No, I'm going to stay up there, because why not? But I can't do offhand because I've already said I'm holding on with one of them. Yeah, that's it. That's all I can do. I was going to throw myself at him. So I'm a little bit sad he did teleport.
Would have been spectacular and suicidal.
Yeah, but no, 4d10 falling damage. I could survive it. Just
4D,
about.
4d6. So even
Oh,
less,
4d6.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no.
20, maximum 24.
It would have been fun, but I also is he flying with wings or is he flying with magic? Like, how's the
Wings.
actual mechanics?
There's a beating taking place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just explain that for anyone that doesn't know what that would look like.
Yeah.
Maggots.
Maggots will just step forward again and throw one of the other stones. Stand next to Victor and throw another one up like he's skimming.
You are on the shore of the lake. Yeah, you'd find a pebble, pick it up. It would just look like you would, actually. Oh, that hits.
It's, some of that is some of that's necrotic. Have I done that much damage?
Yeah, I'm trying to work it out. +4 is... Where's the +4 coming?
Spellcasting ability modifier. So 1d6 +4 bludgeoning, and then plus. Oh, I rolled a 6 on the. So I could get 15. Yeah, 16 is the maximum result from that. So I must have just rolled really well.
So 6 for the necrotic, and the rest of it is bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I need to take math interludes. 6. Take with 1. And okay. With that, this is it. Just one stone you throw?
Just one stone I threw in. Yeah.
This one stone, right in the eye, just and he will turn to face you, and he looks angry. Anything else?
I'll just doff the edge of my cap to him and leave it there.
Let's do his turn. I know what he should do, and I know what he wants to do. He will fly. It's a bad idea. But do it. because it's so mean. No, we'll do it in another turn. We'll start off with a healing touch, which I will spend again. So this healing touch is used up. 2d8 plus 2. No, that's 28 plus 2. That's just math. That was wrong. So bad. So bad. And then we're going to do bonus action, the glowing greatsword.
Who's that to hit?
That is to you, my friend.
That hits, yes.
Just close this character sheet. Come back, Abbott. Ten slashing plus 7 necrotic.
Yeah, it's still up. Just.
Good for you. I wanted to take one more down. And then he's going to fly down 15 feet, so he is now 30 feet above, which I think triggers your blight.
It does. So DC 14 Constitution.
Constitution save.
Saves takes half damage. It's supposed to be 8d8. Hang on.
Yeah, you've rolled a con save.
Oh, did I? Never mind. Gosh, did 20 damage.
I feel bad that Victor did it. Would you like to describe what happens?
He's still grinning evilly, and then as soon as he sees the Abbot come down into range, he just black sort of tendrils come out from his hands and wrap round the Abbot, and then just tighten all of a sudden and slice him into lots of little pieces.
And this figure will stop beating its wings and fall from the sky. And in those last moments, he will just look and lock eyes with you, Luca. And I really want to say, he says something like, I will always be your father. As you see the life leave his eye. Oh, welcome to level 6.
Ooh.
I haven't had to do this in-game before.
Oh.
I guess we can talk through what we want to do with level 6. I don't know what you can get at level 6. I'm also going to change the music.
Well, if he's in bits and he's on the floor, Magus will just amble up, sort of kick a few of the lumps of the Abbot, look at Luca and go, suppose we can have a go at stitching him up if you like.
A little bit of respect to the dead, at least, please. I guess.
The Watcher will bend down, pick Abscess's head up and go, "What about this?"
Alexander will have also climbed down and be cradling Absence's body, just weeping. Something we can do?
Oh.
Is there something we can do?
If we can find a diamond of suitable size, normally I might have been able to revive him, but it's been a little too long.
How long has it been?
Maybe about 30
12,
seconds.
18, yeah.
About 30 seconds by the time you talked and that.
Oh well, I can use magic to preserve his remains.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think it's still a zombie for another 30 seconds.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm cradling a moving zombie. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, Victor will end the zombie and animate dead then.
And now you are supporting a crumpling figure.
That's fine. I'll lay him down gently.
Luca will take a moment to use gentle repose, so that Absence can't be raised from the dead again for 10 days.
Before you do that, just in case, Ez, do you have any diamonds?
No, I'm not going to do that at this point. No, I'm really sorry I don't.
Okay. And then, yeah, just in case.
As you place his body on the ground, you feel something tumble out of his pocket.
Okay. And what is it?
It's a very small metallic. I think you would know because you are from nobility. It's one of those really small music boxes with that you like turn the little crank.
What's that do then?
I think it's a music box. I've seen them before, so yeah. I think it's just a little music box. What do we do with him?
On the front of the box, you can see this carved face of a wood elf with silver hair. Up or anything.
What's it say then?
I'm not sure now's the time. What should we do with his body?
And how long do you say you'd be fixed for, Luca?
I believe about 10 days. It's still worth burying him somewhere, though. Predators can still attack his remains.
Or you mean can't we just lay him in the tower?
Is certainly an option, but I would feel bad for whoever the tower's owner would be. This Van Richten to come back and find decapitated remains occupying his tower.
I will be here. Hello, I am Victor. I can explain what's happened.
Because we can also explain to the bust what has happened.
Between two of them, I'm hoping if whoever returns, they might take kindly. I know we're trying to help the lad. Where does one find diamonds anyway?
The abbot gave us some suggestions, but they escaped from me now. Mage's Hold in the south, I believe, was one. I believe your friend Darzin mentioned Valaki. The Vistani Company of Valaki. I forget the others.
All seem a bit far away. We did promise we go speak to them werewolves.
If you'll excuse me for a period, there's something I would like to see to before we carry on. And Luca will walk off, and he'll check the abbot for anything worthwhile, and then he will do his best to struggle with his limp, noodly arms to drag the abbot's remains off somewhere. Try and bury them somewhere.
Burn it.
Abbott does not have anything on him. Where would you like to drag him off to?
Drag him into the woods somewhere nearby.
You can
Well,
do that.
a bit of woods where it looked like there'd be a clearing. So maybe you can get a little bit of sun on his little gravesite. If there was any sun.
There's not an immediate clearing. If you take him to just before the forest edge, if you recall, this tower is sort of jutting out on an inlet just inside the lake. So all around you've got the forest, and if you left him at the edge of the forest, he could actually catch some light.
Sounds fine. I'll spend a few minutes trying to scoop out a little shallow grave because he wouldn't have time to do anything deeper, and then kind of push the abbot in there and throw all the dirt back on. And then eventually return to the tower.
Alessandro, I realised I meant to just show you the image of the box because you didn't say you opened it, but I think it showed you the thing in it. If you opened it, would you have snapped it shut at some point, or else you're all stood with this music you're really playing?
So the plan would be, when it tumbles out of his pocket, Alexander will then pocket it just to stop people getting to whatever. We'll take the time to move Absence inside. Make the body as comfortable as possible. Like, lay his hands on his chest kind of thing. And he will open it. And after reading just that first, the to who it is line, would Alexander think that Absence wouldn't want this known? Like, I'm trying to think of how much he knows Absence, and Absence hasn't been the most... Like, he has shared some information, but not this kind of information.
Difficult
So I think...
to say. I can't say roll an insight check because there's no one to insight.
Yeah, I don't think Alexander would make the judgment that Absence would want this shared. It was personal to him, so as soon as he's read the first bit, he'll shut it. And I think he'll keep it with him until he knows what's happening to the body, because he wouldn't want just anyone messing with it. He wouldn't want anyone stealing it, so at least he can keep it safe. But he won't read the actual letter. It's not his business. But he will find some ink and paper and write a little note that just says, "Here lies absence. A good ally and a great friend." And he'll just fold it up and put it in Absence's hands in case he's found by anyone, just so he's not left unknown.
I think Alexander's doing all of this.
Just watching on with curiosity, really. I've not seen anyone die before. Not near to me. So I'm watching on, smoking my pipe, curious as to what Alexander's doing and seeing how upset he is.
As will probably be stood nearby as she's not got much else to do at the moment, and say, "Do you think you will manage to find Diamonds and bring him back?" After the first few moments, I think it is a much more powerful spell required. Are any of you that powerful? I don't think even enrich was that powerful.
I don't really understand how it all works.
No, I don't either.
I think we might have to wait for Luca to return.
Thought you'd probably want to bury him outside, and then, you know, could make some plants grow on top of him, and he sort of get resurrected that way, I suppose, in a way.
It may be too soon to be asking this sort of questions. I don't know if you're planning to move on pretty soon or stay here and rest for a few hours, but we've said we may use this as a base where we can reunite once again. If I return and you do not, I would want to know what to do with him, what you would want me to do with him.
Right, it's up to you, Alexander. I don't not known him long.
Maybe we should look into. We have some time. We should look into what can be done. And then, you're right, if we can't help him, we'll find a field somewhere where he can see the sky. Or maybe he would prefer to be burnt, so that then he can't be brought back.
Seems a bit wasteful. If you think that's right.
Since we've been here, we've heard stories, and it worries me what happened to Luca. And also what happened to Cedric. And I don't think Absence would want to come back as something that was not quite himself, and I'm not even sure he would want to come back at all. I wonder if maybe it would be best if Luca was able to ask him a few questions. Though it feels weird to to control him in any way.
We'll have to ask Luca if that's what happens when you ask questions. I don't think he's controlling, just asking the questions, mind. He'll know,
Yeah.
though. We saw him do it
Maybe.
before, didn't we?
Yes, but it does seem to be different when you know them.
There is another issue I'm sorry to raise.
Yes, Victor?
No.
No? No, which one's this?
Esmeralda, I have props, but I don't feel it's appropriate to use them right now. I have not been in this situation before, and I do not know what the outcome would be if you did manage to bring him back or speak with him, but he died and was then reanimated. My understanding of spells is that the last thing he was would be brought back, not the thing before that. I think. But I don't know if the reanimation is a different being to absence.
When he was reanimated, was his head like rolling around on the floor, like alive, or was it just the body?
Don't know how that works.
You reanimate a corpse. I suppose the head could, if a part of it is still there. We're going into the semantics of was he completely beheaded or was a little bit hanging on.
Well, I think we mentioned that the head was on the floor, so I imagine it was completely cleaved. Yeah, it's just the semantics of
At that point
corpse.
you're animating a thing, so I suppose if a thing is separate, it's not
It's
part
a
of
separate
it.
thing.
Yeah.
So we could still ask questions of the head, and that would still be absence because the actual body was what was reanimated as the zombie.
In theory, after what Esmeralda has brought up, yes.
What, and then resurrect the head and let the body grow back underneath?
I'm not sure resurrection is an option. Really, it would just be to see what he would have wanted. But I think he would want death to be death. And I take it that at some point during all this, Luca returns. And so we would then bring Luca into the conversation of what are our options, considering that his body's been reanimated, his head is separate. The idea of them ever meshing together again seems questionable, especially without the Abbot now. Do we have any options?
Don't suppose he taught you how to stitch dead ends together, did he?
He did not, no. There are some powerful magics that can be used to bring him back to life before he was reanimated as corpse, but that's magic that is currently beyond me. If you wanted me to communicate with his remains, I could do that quite easily. I believe I still have the capability to do it today, but I would need to be certain.
Just something above table, because I was not here for the session where everyone was in the Abbot's house, whatever it was. I can't remember the chapel.
Abbey.
The Abbey.
Abbot of the Abbey.
Abbey. There we go. Now I know that Absence was the most vocal against what the Abbot was doing. What was his general message? Was he like, "This is terrible, you don't do this to corpses, what the hell is going on?" Or was it like...
It was more measured than that.
Okay.
It was more, I understand why you're doing it. I understand your motivation, but I don't agree with the ethics of it, of the actual following through and doing it.
Was it the ethics of bringing things back to life, or was it the ethics of the Frankensteining?
I think, yeah, there was a large part of it that was you're not getting the other person's consent or opinion on being brought back. He was very much like Cedric was dead, and you don't know whether Cedric wanted to be brought back or not. You just did it.
This is why the conversations were difficult, though, because the dead people, yeah, there's no consent, but that he had live patients who were terminal who did consent, he says, because there was no hope for them, so they consented to whatever if it gave them a second chance at life.
And at any point during that, did Absence say, "If I die, just let me die"? Or something along that? No, he didn't say that.
He did say, "Don't let him do that to me," but not let me die.
Okay. I don't like this. I'm too emotional for this right now.
Don't have to decide tonight, lad. We could just leave him be here for a bit. Go and do what, because I think our time's running out for them back at the town. Go talk to them, they're werewolves. Well, we have to think about what we do.
I am Bergamot the Dmitry Kretskov. I know you were in mourning. I don't want to get involved in all of this, but I must say now that the Abbot is dead, we sent the children, or decided to send the children up to the Abbey. If no one is looking after whatever creatures are loose up there, I am concerned for my town, and I know I said I would travel with you to speak with the werewolves, but I wonder whether it is better for me to return.
You must do what you think's best, but I don't think the people in there won't. I don't think they'd hurt them, kill children. They seemed, whatever the Abbot did to them, they were still people.
There's my companion's friend Dawson is still there at the Abbey, I believe, and a number of the people that still reside in the Abbey can be trusted. They're quite reasonable. Is Lady Justina and little Professor Kirk, a few others. They are quite trustworthy in maintaining.
They might scare the bejesus out of them children, but they won't hurt them.
No. I think Dawson and Justine will probably be the ones who have the most interaction with the children at that time. Justine's only heavily burnt. She's not a hybrid like the others.
Some recollection, Jim. Just above the table, well done.
I'm the guy who never takes notes.
But the guy who built the Abbey and met all of the inhabitants, it makes sense. Could you roll a persuasion? Because I'm still not sure about what Dimitri would do.
For me? From me, rather?
Yeah. It's more, no offense, more you walk in there than Magus, so.
2. So there's a 1.
Magus is fairly indifferent though, so he's not helping. He'd come if he likes, or not.
I think I must go back. I am truly sorry, and I hope you understand. Can any of you use this? And he will hold out his silvered greatsword.
Unfortunately not.
Not I. Too thin for a spade. Not much use to me.
Well,
Thank you, though.
then I hope I don't have to use it.
I can assure you that you won't.
No, I think he means the werewolves.
Oh. That makes more sense, actually.
I hope we won't. I hope he
I-
won't.
I hope I see you again soon with good news. And I guess exit Burgomaster Dmitry Kretskon. It's a lot of stuff people here.
What does everyone want to do now? Do you want to try to communicate with Absence's remains, or would you prefer to take a rest?
Well, hello, I am Esmeralda. The Watcher most definitely needs a rest. Look, he's completely broken and battered. And she's probably going through some. On the first floor, there were some crates, and she'll be opening some crates and taking bandages out of them, and probably helping you bind your wounds.
Oh, order of no, wait, can I still do that? If I do that, I can't use Speak with Dead, so no, I won't do that. Never mind. Ignore me.
We should rest before we go to the werewolves. We still have to deal with that.
How long did we have before they were supposed to be attacking the town?
Tomorrow night.
And what time of day is it now?
It's still probably only lunchtime. You left in the morning, and it only took you 2 hours to get here.
Yes, our absence wouldn't want us to leave the town defenseless. We should continue on with our mission and figure out what's best to do.
I mean, if we're going to do anything to him, if what Lucas says is true, then it's as good tomorrow or the day after as it is today. So I just think I'm worried about people in the town, really. I think Absence, what I knew of him, probably would be too. He seemed mighty concerned with them people in the Abbey, so I'm sure he don't want no people turning into werewolves either.
Do we try asking him what he would want? Is it, Luca, when you speak to the dead, is it just the memory of the flesh, or is it what makes them them that speaks back?
I believe it is really just the memories they had at the time.
The
They
memories they had at the
won't.
time.
They won't return with new information. Or
But
their
it-
experiences beyond death.
That's fine for what you want to ask him, though, isn't it?
Yes, it would be.
Just do it if it make you feel better, lad. Luca's happy too.
I only have 2 questions. Would he want to be at peace? Is there anything he needs from us? Anything we need to do going forward? Is there anything else we should ask?
You should perhaps ask him about final messages for people.
Well, that would be covered by anything he would want from us, anything we would need to do. How precise do these questions need to be?
Very precise.
Okay.
Last requests. Final words.
Does he want us to try and bring him back? Does he want us to give anyone any messages? Would he rather flowers or a tree on his grave?
Well, would it be a grave or would he prefer to be cremated? Well,
I have 4 questions. You have 1 remaining.
1 second, I'm just writing stuff down. So what have we got so far?
Would you like to come back? Do you have any funerary requests? Anything you would like us to do? And do you have any messages for people? There's 1 more that remains. We do not need to ask 5 questions if you can't think of a final.
Would we ask him if there's anything he wanted us to know?
We could also ask him that as well, yes.
We need to be careful how we phrase that so he doesn't just answer yes. I feel like he would do that. I feel like he would try and mess with us in the last moment just to prove a point.
Well, if he wants to do that, he will.
It'd be appropriate for him, from what little I remember. I can somehow recall he was both a good man and somewhat of an arse at the same time. I believe is to be my opinion of him.
I think he was a product of a hard life. But I'm happy with those 5 questions.
Okay, I will take a moment to sit somewhere comfortable and take Absence's head with me and use the Speak with Dead spell. Which I shall cast. Boop. That is all of my 3rd level spells. Ooh, that's a lovely spell effect.
Will weirdly take a gasp of air as if it's breathing, as its eyes flick open and meet with yours, Luca. Then notably, the absence that you had met and knew had this fire in his eyes. They sort of emanated these wisps of smoke, and he was quite terrifying to look at, but the face that you see is the eyes are black and dull, and the face looks sad.
Hello, Absence. Should we find a method to resurrect you, would you actually like to be revived?
By this pain. I don't want to be in pain anymore. I wish to go home.
Slightly earlier than anticipated. Do you have any specific funerary rites you would like performed? Would you like a pyre or a grave?
Ask him about the flowers or the tree.
I want to be buried in my orchard.
Okay. Is there anything left you would like us to do for you?
God. Go home. Be free.
Is there anything you would like us to know with your passing?
Everything there is to know is in my pocket. Tell my mother I fell.
I understood. Do you have any final messages for your friends?
I'm sorry.
And with that, the face, it wasn't moving as it spoke. You could just hear this whispered voice, but visibly relaxes and the eyelids close.
Before Luca takes the head and rejoins everyone else, he will probably take a moment to sit there and just go, I'm sorry too, Absence. I wasn't able to save you the first time, and the second time, it's my fault you had died. I can't help but feel entirely responsible. On both occasions. And he'll stand up and walk over to rejoin everyone else. And he'll relay his answers. He's described he was in pain and he did not want to feel anymore, so he would not like to be brought back if possible. For his funerary requests, he wants to be buried in his orchard. So, for the time being, he should be buried somewhere notable where we could find him again once we have found a way to leave the mists. But take his remains with us to be appropriately buried. The only things he would like us to do is to get out of Novia and find a way to go and for everyone to live their respective lives. He said the only thing he wanted us to know was already in his pocket, which I believe may have been that music box. And he wants you to tell the appropriate person mentioned within how he had passed away. And his final message for everyone was that he was sorry.
How about this then? If we're using this tower as a house, he wants to be buried in his orchard. In the meantime, why don't we bury him outside here? And I'll grow a little plum tree over it. And then when we come back, when we're all done, we can come and get him. And when you lot can take him home.
Be very nice, Magus.
Right you are. I'll go outside, start preparing then. So I head outside and try and find somewhere suitable for a plum tree to grow. Despite them not too much light.
Glenlet is surrounded by water, so the plant growth here is actually probably flourishing more than anywhere else that you've come across, so it's not hard to find.
I cast daylight during the fight with the Abbot, so the sun will still be shining by the tower.
You did.
Alexander will start looking for a shovel. And once he finds one, he'll go outside and he'll just start digging.
There's a lot of stuff here, I'll say you can find that. Yeah, as I said, it's easy to find a good spot, and over a period of probably an hour, you will dig a shallow grave.
Lay his body in it. And push the soil back over the top. And then stand at the end of it, smoking my pipe. Anyone wants any words to say, go on and say them. And I'll get on with growing the tree. I'll start concentrating and you'll see little seedling kind of sprout from the soil, and it'll slowly grow into a very small plum tree.
It's perfectly acceptable to choose to take a moment of silence in a time like this. There's no requirement to say anything.
Alexander's still just shoveling dirt, just no eye contact with anyone.
Esmeralda here. Amongst my people, it is typical to take time to mourn like this, yes, but predominantly celebrate their life. I know
That
my
mean you
people
have
will...
drink?
Yes?
I think Absence would like us to drink.
You will take out a wineskin and offer it, say, to Absence and take a sip and pass it round.
Alexander will take more than a sip.
Does everyone partake in a drink?
Little one, not fond of wine.
Luca does not. He still has the old citric attitude of I don't really drink wine.
Watcher?
The Watcher doesn't really eat and drink, so he just tips a bit on the ground.
Alessandra will take another drink and will then offer it to the small weight that is invisible but on his shoulder. And let Graham have the tiniest of drops.
Will partake. So I suppose for the Watcher is the only one that hasn't seen him. Maybe Luca too, actually. You will see Alessandro pass the wineskin up to the shoulder, which looks quite odd, but then their hand comes away and it's not slowly, it quickly pours and she brings it, seems to sort of stops it quite abruptly after that to not have too much.
Sacred flame. I'm only joking.
I will
Yeah.
rip Luca from shredded bit of flesh to shredded bit of flesh.
You would be angry at Luca, but you would stab me.
No, I would stab both of you.
Okay.
The imaginary and the Jim. For the purposes of this being streamed on Twitch and YouTube, I am not advocating violence.
That doesn't sound
However,
like Hazel I know.
However, touch my imaginary friends, and we'll have issues. That goes for the mushroom. That goes for the tiny little imp.
Yeah,
Goes
the
to
mushroom's going.
Dan, I will find where you live. The mushroom, the tiny little imp, and the talking whale.
Talking whale.
You can find Hazel's adopted companions in our other streams if you are intrigued by what she's talking about.
I didn't mean to be this person. I didn't mean to be this person. I don't know how it happened.
Always something that gets adopted.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Should you rest up a bit? Or do you want to crack on?
A rest would be wise.
Yes.
I suppose this has taken quite a bit of time, so
Would you just be resting to heal up, or?
I have used a lot of my spell slots, so we don't have to actually sleep, but I would not decline the invitation to sleep.
Is it better to go after werewolves in the day or at night?
yeah. Well, I guess it's sort of later in the afternoon now after we've done all the burying and the like. So, would it be better to wait here overnight and head out first thing in the morning, finding the werewolves?
About
That doesn't give us
3?
much time.
It doesn't need to take too long. All you've done is dig a grave and say something.
I don't want to head out first thing in the morning and have missed them when they're already on their way to Cracks.
Right, you are. So we just head out then. If we can't have a longer rest, then there's no point in. Is there any point in waiting? Is anyone badly hurt?
I can say anyone that didn't partake in the digging of the grave during that hour could take that as a short rest.
Yeah, the Watcher would have just sat there then.
Cedric's Luca is the one missing spell slots.
Yes, I'm missing quite a few, but I can make do if necessary.
If we do sleep, then we still need to head out. I think we would still need to head out tonight. My concern is just coming across the werewolves in the dark when some of us are going to be at more of a disadvantage. And I know we are hoping only to speak with them and not to fight, but there's still a chance.
How far away are we?
Looking at the map, which is crudely drawn, but you also have eyes and can see the mountains on the horizon, you could probably estimate you only travelled for a couple of hours to get to the lake. It would be the rest of the day's travel time. If you travel for 8 hours, so it would be another 5 hours-ish.
So it would be dark by the time we got there, almost, if we left now. Well, that seems to be the choice. We rest now, leave late at night and plans getting there first thing in the morning, or we leave now and get there at night.
I'm all for leaving now. We rest up a bit, bind our wounds, and then move on.
If that's what everyone is willing to do, that is acceptable for me.
Yeah, let's screw over the cleric where we've just lost a friend already. If you don't mind me asking, do you happen to have any weapons here that you would not mind lending us at all?
I won't lend you my weapons, but fortunately, Van Richten seemed to come very well prepared. And if you just walk into the ground floor, as I said, there were a lot of crates there, and she will start to rummage through them, and she will offer you a healer's kit. How many of you are there? 5. No, now there's 4. That's awkward.
Rubbing it in there.
She'll give you enough for all of you to have 2 days of dried rations. She'll give you a vial of oil.
Oils in like flammable oil or lamp oil? Just like not
Cooking
quite
oil.
the kaboom, but still fiery.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Or holy oil.
Not holy oil,
Darn it.
just the flammables. What else could you take? She can also give you 20 silvered bolts for a hand crossbow and
Yes.
a silver dagger. There is other stuff here, more for vampires, some holy water, garlic. To be honest, if Van Richten comes back, he's going to be pissed, but you'll need it. He's not fighting werewolves. But maybe just come back for the wooden stakes and stuff like that.
Thank you. What kind of... First of all, as Watcher, would you be joining us to deal with the werewolves?
For myself personally, I would like to follow up on... You said you last saw Rictavio, person in Vallaki. What was that? About 3 days ago now? And he may have moved on, so I'm quite keen to get there. Equally, I appreciate that you are now a man down. So I am open to it, but I would prefer to go to Vallaki. But what do you think? Mocha, will you help them?
I think he's meditating.
Yeah. What is he switched off? How do I maybe poke bits of him?
Also, is the
Sorry,
Watchers...
sleeping.
I guess you were resting. My apologies. Would you be happy to travel with these people? Potentially fight these werewolves?
If that's what needed to try and help Barovia, then, well, if that's what it's called now, then yes.
In that case, can I ask what exactly is this weapon that's attached to you?
A hand crossbow.
Loving the punnage of it. Just making sure. So in that case, can I give the Watcher the 20 silver bolts for the hand cross? Was it a hand crossbow or a light crossbow that they were
Was
called?
for a hand crossbow.
Cool. So he's now got 20 silver bolts.
Cool.
Is there anyone else here who could make as much use of this dagger as I could?
You're all right, lad. You take it.
Thank you. And I will make one of my daggers silvered.
Oh yes, someone can take Absence's spear.
Was that silvered in the end, or was that just magic?
It's not silvered, but it's magical, so no, that would also work.
What kind of weapon is it? I know it's a spear. It's not the answer I'm looking for, but because it's arranged, and then is it like what's the?
It's also using it as a quarterstaff.
Finesse. It is finesse. Okay. And would that give me more reach?
No.
No, it's still within 5 foot. Okay. This of use to anyone else?
I mean, not really, but we could take it with us if it makes you feel better. I suppose it never hurts to have something pointy to stick something with.
I think it would be useful to have something that can actually do a bit more damage to them, yes. Just in case you do run out of whatever it is you need for these spells.
I'll hold on to it if you like, but I'm not sure it's much use to me really, but a pinch I suppose. No one else wants to take it for him. Or we could plant it next to the tree.
I think he would want us to make use of it.
I would agree.
Right you are.
I've put it in Alessander's inventory for now. Unless you'd like me to move it.
Do we think Magus will have it?
I probably won't. Magus probably won't use it. So if Alessander will, then do.
I'm just thinking, but Alessander's now already got like 2 silvered weapons.
Oh, Okay, I'll take it. If it's something that might help against the werewolves, I'll take it for this anyway. I don't have anything silver.
There's that. And give it to Magus. Are you planning on leaving now? Or waiting? Sorry, I can't remember what you decided. If you decided.
We'll be leaving now? If everyone is rested? Anyone needs to take a short rest?
I am ready to go.
So am I.
Let's go then.
Oh, one last thing. As you're walking, keep an eye out for. Wait. Keep your eye out for a drop of belladonna or deadly nightshade. It won't grow up in the mountains. You're more likely to find it down here on the forest floor. It is risky, but if you are bitten by one of the werewolves, there is a chance you might be inflicted with their curse. Nightshade is highly poisonous. It's enough to kill the infection sometimes. But it is also enough to potentially kill you, so it is a risk you must weigh up. It grows in the shade. Look for teardrop leaves and blackberries.
Thank you for your guidance.
We'll see you back here. I will look after
See you
your
soon.
friend.
Alexander will say a quick goodbye to Buster and change his page.
Oh dear boy, I'm very sorry. Actually, whilst you were gone, you left this book of poetry, meditations, graveside meditations. This poem might be a lovely one to read it. I think you've had the funeral, but maybe the memorial.
I think when we have time and when I'm ready, I'll come back to visit anyway, and maybe then would be the right time for it.
Quite. Very sorry for your loss, dear boy.
Thank you for your consideration.
I understand that the boy is staying.
I'll have a quick word with him. If he is staying, I'm sure he will be far politer now, and if for any reason he isn't, do let me know on my return and I will deal with it appropriately.
I appreciate your thought. But yeah, I suppose if my lady takes no issue with it, then I shall have to endure.
It may be worth being aware that he's been through a lot recently. He's a troubled boy, and hopefully if he's shown some kindness, he could maybe make it past that stage and make something of himself. I'm sure you could be a shining example of what he could be.
What you're saying, perhaps he could use a sympathetic ear, maybe some guidance, a knowledgeable older fellow who could be some sort of father figure in a way, I suppose. I
Yes,
shall think of this.
thank you.
And for the sake of the stream, I realise we just dove into that. So on the second floor of the tower, the characters came upon an animated bust named Buster, who very quickly befriended Alessandro with their love of the arts.
I adopt everything that I can that isn't human.
And with that, I suppose you will make your way northwest. If there's nothing else to be done. Nope, nothing else to be done. Lovely. This music has been sad for a very long time. We're going to go to the travelling playlist. Which isn't much better, I'll be honest.
Travelling music.
All of the playlists are sad. Right. Making your way to... Oh, also, just before you head off, just for future reference, because I was aware that now Alessander is the only person who is an OG member of the party. Well,
I'm at least 50-50.
I'm sorry, but Graham
I'm
has
saying.
been with us more than Luca and Cedric
Parts
have
of
been.
Luca. Parts of Luca. are
Yeah,
members
some
of the
pieces of you, but none of them remember anything, except for Absence dying the first time, apparently.
Tom joined us at the winery. Danny has just joined us here. Matt's a disembodied voice. So I've made this just for your reference so that you can see everything you learned from Van Richten's tower. And in brackets, there's information for the players that weren't there and won't have context on where they met these people and things like that. So you can look over that to have a bit more understanding at some point when it comes up. Lovely. So, you will make your way northwest, traipsing through the trees. The path quickly begins to climb as you know the direction you are heading in. Yes?
Whilst we're still on the lower grounds, can I keep an eye out for Deadly Nightshade, please?
Anyway, doing that, please roll me a perception.
Absence. Gosh, Magus will be too.
It's only a 10 from me.
No better from me, really.
Alexander's still crying. He can't see the shape of leaves and berries from all the tears.
Oh, if you're... By the way, if you're crying, you will at points feel a tiny finger, quite skeletal, just sort of help dab your face.
Well, it'll just be a little kind of apology every now and then to Graham. Not being the best role model.
This is the biggest. This is a real long con. This is a little demon thing that's now being so cute. It's a real long con.
If you make friends with them, if you make friends with them, it can all be okay.
They're not really demonic. They're just misunderstood.
Exactly. He just needs someone to love him and to feed him sweet food, and he's gonna help us and he's gonna be on our side. And when it does turn out to be Asmodeus, we've got Asmodeus on our side, so it's okay.
Again, the players that have not yet met Graham, you will just see... No, you won't see. You will hear, if you are in the vicinity, a voice seemingly come from Alessander, but he's not making that noise because his mouth isn't making those words, and it's not his accent. Say, Ali, your face is leaking.
Oh, he calls him Ali. I know. It happens when people are sad. That's all. Don't worry about it.
Sad? Because of your friend?
Yeah.
Sorry you're sad.
Thank you.
And at some point you'll feel a weight lift and you'll say, I'm still here. I I'm having a fly.
Okay, that's fine. Just don't go too far, okay?
I won't.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll spend some time foraging whenever you come across a buried plant, and from Esmeralda's words, you're all a bit wary. Is that a blackberry? Is it more purple? You spend a lot of time debating this until eventually, Watcher, you come across something that you recognize. It's just ingrained in your brain. This is a plant that you used to have to go and pick. You were told to go and pick it. You recognize it. This looks like what was being described.
I'll pick it up and pass it to whoever wants it. There you go. It still grows in the same place.
I don't think
How much of it do
Esmeralda
we get?
mentioned this. She should have, and she will have. You don't eat the berries. Well, the berries can have a very minimal effect, not enough to help the lycanthropy curse, and probably not enough to kill you unless you ate loads of them. What you're really after is the root. So for the root, you could get enough for 2 doses, if you would. Hazel, you are a very good note taker. Are you noting that? I might note that because I forget these things. I had to rewatch the stream today to remember who had silvered weapons.
Yes, I have got it down that Deadly Nightshade can kill the infection. We've got 2 doses. Eat the root.
Also, at some point, whilst you're doing that, you probably take a pause whilst you all contemplate whether this is what you're looking for. Graham will land back on your shoulder and say, "Hold out your hand."
I will obediently hold out my hand, but I'll hold it like up to where he's sat.
And he will, as they leave his hands, his invisible hands, this eight little red berries will appear in your palm. I don't actually know what these are, but when I'm sad, I like sweet things, but I don't have any sweet things. So I thought I could go find some sweet things, but I don't know if they're sweet. But here you go.
That's very kind of you, Graham.
Did you just poop in your hand?
That's what I was thinking. It's like I couldn't find any belladonna, but
Don't be so disgusting about my sweet little boy. Alexander will kind of sidle up next to Magus and ask Magus if he knows what the berries are.
Let's make a nature check.
Where'd you get them, lad?
Graham, where exactly did you get them? What kind of plant did they come from?
It was on, like, the floor level. Well, no, because I was hovering, but, like, not a tree. Yeah, 22, you're fine. You will know these are some of those non-toxic, pretty harmless red berries that grow in a lot of trees. I don't know things. I just thought this would be cute.
I'm imagining like rose hips.
Sure, yes.
Well, I don't reckon they'll do you no harm, so don't worry.
Are they basically like good berries to give you 1 HP or something?
No, they are just food. They're not even...
Not sure.
It's a gesture.
Not sure they'll taste too nice, and if they're not red, don't eat them. If they're green still, I'll give the shits.
Well, that is good to know. more importantly, are they sweet?
One way to
Odds
find
or
out.
evening. Odds or evens.
I want it to be evens. Evens, they're sweet.
They are sweet. Yes!
And how many did I get?
You got 8 little sweet berries. 8 sweet rose hips. Are rose hips
Mm.
sweet?
No, they're quite bitter.
No, not rose hips. If anyone knows in the stream right now and the name of a sweet berry, not a raspberry or a strawberry. Oh, my
A
phone's
currant.
died. I can't.
Like
I
a
can't
Red
talk.
currant,
A red
Yeah,
currant.
sure. You've got
There
a
we go.
red currant.
sour, but
8 sweet berries is just what I'm going to write down.
nature's
Ow.
tic.
Playing the important stuff.
I will offer one to each member of the group, starting with Graham. So I'll give Graham one.
Oh, these
Maybe
aren't
don't-
bad.
No, but just
And then a second one will disappear.
don't eat them too quickly. We don't know exactly if they're going to agree with you or not, so just be careful, okay? And then Alexander will have one, and he'll then offer one to Magus and one to Luca and one to the Watcher.
It is a really meager feast, but
But it's sweet and it matters. It is a show of kindness.
they're they're a nice burst of. Oh,
I don't actually require food, so you're welcome to have mine if you want.
Yeah, the Watcher will get his and go, Graham, catch, and he'll try and throw it roughly where he is, on her shoulder.
Can Graham do? I want to see if Graham can catch it.
yeah. What would that be?
Dex.
Dexterity.
Acrobatics or sleight of hand?
They're the same, aren't they? But probably sleight of hand for grabbing out of the air.
But the thing is, like, Alexander in like full dad style is going to be like, he kind of knows where Graham is, so Alexander's also ready to grab it if it goes past him. Doesn't want him to lose a berry. 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have these. I had to make it up on the spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
He catches it, it disappears instantly.
That's funny.
Thanks. You'll just hear this voice from Alexander's direction. I'm Graham, by the way.
Watcher.
What you watching?
Everything.
Can you see me?
He just looks in the direction and doesn't say a word.
Alexander, you'll feel a weight lift from your shoulder. And then a
Usually,
moment
yeah.
later, Watcher, you're hearing where you would expect an ear to be. You can't see me.
The Watcher jumps.
I can't share his token. When I click on him to show everyone, it doesn't come up.
Is it because he's kind of attached to my token?
Maybe? Can you right-click on him and share him? I don't.
I can only right click on myself, it seems it's not giving me.
If you move right one, you might be able to click on him.
Shared it with the stream.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, he's still here. Sorry, so I feel like the party needed that moment of lightness. You make your way northwest. The trees start to grow taller and denser. The path grows steeper. The bark's colour drains to a grey, and where there aren't evergreens, there are not dead trees, but the leaves have fallen. You'll carry on. Is anyone keeping sort of watch whilst you do this? How are you progressing? Are you in a rush? Are you being stealthy? What would you like to do?
Luca would probably keep an eye out as we're travelling.
Yeah, the Watcher will be as well.
Yeah, well, keeping an eye out would be wise, but don't necessarily need to go too slow. Do they?
No, we're
Regular
hoping
pace.
to talk to them. So I think if we tried to be too stealthy, it would seem as if we're trying to sneak up on them, which is not our intention.
Great. Those keeping watch, please make me a perception check. All of you except Alessander, who is
Alessander's still crying.
still crying. You will hear maybe 100 feet away this. It sounds like a animal in pain, maybe.
The Watcher will go running. His motor kicked in.
It's me. I'm putting you on the map. So this is about halfway through your journey up the mountains. So the snowfall's grown heavier underfoot, as you will see from this map. About, what is that? Just under 100 feet away, if you follow that noise, you will see this large, furry creature with a beak for a mouth, suspended from a rope in a tree. It's like it's been caught in a trap.
Yeah, the Watcher will start going up towards it.
It looks dangerous, but I feel that we should help it. Oh, I'm going to adopt an owlbear.
So I'll go up with him. I'll be running up with Watcher.
The Watcher will stop there and have a look around, see if we can see anyone in the trees.
Yeah, perception check.
Dirty 20.
Look around. And you can't see it, but in the distance you can hear this thumping against the snow, so it's quite dull, but it's rapid, like something is running in your direction.
I'll say, watch out, and he'll lift his crossbow up to ready to fire at whatever comes out.
Don't be too quick to fire. See what it is first.
He just nods.
And I'll go invisible.
After maybe 30 seconds, whilst this thing is flailing, suspended from a tree, you will see this much larger version of it start running towards you.
Put my crossbow down as soon as I see the bigger one.
It will run in front of the one in front of the tree, and I don't know much about owlbears. Is it I guess it will caw at you in some way,
Just goes,
threateningly.
ooh, ooh.
Yeah, proper threatening. Woo! Woo!
Watch her start backing off, but while facing it.
I shall stay exactly where I am, so I'm not moving, not invisible.
It will just stand there. It doesn't make any move to you at the moment. It just very occasionally, I assume it can twist its head like 360 back to the thing in the tree, and then back at you, and back to the thing in the tree, and back at you.
It does like a bear, stands up on its hind legs, so it looks bigger as well.
Yeah, it'll stand up and it'll probably thump the ground to show how strong it is. And
Which way is the wind blowing?
west. So
Okay, so it's blowing. It's not going to be blowing our smell towards the owlbear. So I shall stay where I am then. Not make a sound.
Can Alexander start stealthing into the trees?
you can certainly try.
It's been. I don't. Have I ever rolled a stealth check as Alexander? No, I'm not used to being in snow. It's of no use. So I start walking over.
And its eyes will lock with you. Ooh!
Watch her go to the other tree line.
Graham, can you hold a dagger?
Why?
Do you think whilst you're invisible, you could cut the smaller one out of the tree?
Yeah, probably, but it's gonna hit his head.
I think that's okay. As long as it doesn't hit you.
Why are we helping it? It don't look friendly.
Because I think if the big one gets the little one back, I think they will leave.
Yeah, now?
If you're willing, then I'll hold up one of my daggers for him to take.
As he
One of
takes
them will
it, it
probably-
disappears.
Yep.
And would you like to roll a stealth for Graham?
Does it get to be at advantage because he's invisible and flying?
Yes.
Good. $18. No, 21.
He makes it over there.
Yes. And I just want him to soar through that rope. Well, the big one's paying attention to us. And if the big one starts to pay more attention to the smaller one, Alexander will start moving again to draw its attention back.
Yeah, a couple of minutes pass where you're just in this standoff. And then... Oh. The young owlbear will fall to the floor. You'll hear it cry out as it makes contact with the cold hard earth. And the mother turns around, checks it very briefly, and then turns back to all of you again. You all still. Are you doing anything?
Still as it can be.
It will turn back to the young Albert. Look it over. Turn back to you. Back to the young Albert.
Are we playing red light, green light with a freaking owlbear?
And it will nudge the young one back into the tree line. And it will go with it. Its head swirling round between you two again until the young one stops crying and seems to be walking normally, although there is a rope attached to its leg straggling behind it. And then it's just backing away, eyes fixed on all of you. Until they're gone.
Graham, come back. Please.
Freedom!
Oh, there he is.
Once he's back, right, that was very brave of you. Thank you so much for what you've just done.
It's alright. I thought it might eat me at one point. It couldn't see me, but it looked like it was snapping at me, but I did it. I did what you said.
Yep, and you did bravely and brilliantly. And I'll get out the rest of the berries. And I'll give him a couple.
I gave these to you.
Yes, well, it's good to share with friends.
Friends?
Yeah, my friend.
That's nice. I think.
Yes, it is.
I don't
We
know
look after
if
each other.
I've had a friend. I don't think I have. I'm not quite sure what it means, but if it involves giving each other food, I think I'm into it.
It can be whatever you require it to be. Are you warm enough as well? It's gotten quite cold now.
I have a very high body temperature. I'm good.
Okay. So let me know if it gets too cold for you, though.
Yeah. The problem with being invisible. Dagger incoming.
Oh, yes, sorry. And I'll lay my hand out.
And suddenly we lost 2 PCs that day.
We can progress.
As Magus will just appear, leaning against the rock, smoking his pipe. You know. So, do you reckon it would be a parliament of owlbears or a sloth of owlbears?
Any person that knows their collective nouns for animal groups. Oh, that. I'm tempted to give you a point of inspiration. That's just. Oh,
It's worth it.
Go
Do
on,
it.
have one. I'm very impressed by that.
Thank you very much.
This is the second collective noun discussion I've had this week. That's fun.
That was the first.
When I was at uni, we used to do a pub quiz every week, and there was always a question on what is the collective noun for this group of animals. And because I'm fiercely competitive, I would just leave the names of collective nouns of groups of animals on post-it notes around the flat as revision for my flatmates for when that time would come.
I was sat in the office waiting for some student appointments this week, and I could hear in like the reception area there's a discussion going on, and like we've got a new receptionist, and she was like, "So what is it when there's multiple of like the same thing?" And I'm like, "Collective nouns." and just shouting through the wall, ignoring the fact that there are classes going on. And then I was like, okay, here are some of the best ones. I'm just going through a list of them all.
Thinking up fun and interesting collective nouns is one of my favourite things to do.
Best. Sorry, we have got sidetracked.
Not
Welcome
so
to
weirdly.
Bonus Actions
Nouns.
Heroes Dictionary Corner.
Bonus action
Bonus
heroes
action
countdown.
tangents.
If we get to
The collective-
51 followers, then we'll do a whole episode on our favourite collective nouns,
think
and we'll draw
there's-
them in paint.
We could judge a collective noun for a group of D&D nerds as a tangent.
Probably is. It should be.
I did enjoy calling us all the Nerd Herd the other day,
Was very good.
and it brought me great joy.
I'm the herder of cats, aren't I?
Yes.
So after your encounter with the owlbears, oh, there's a microphone there, and you continue your journey. You cross a rickety but stable-looking old bridge, which traverses a small canyon between the cliff edges. As the terrain beyond becomes more mountainous, even steeper, you have to focus on where you're placing your feet now. It's a bit like when you were attempting to climb Yester Hill, which you did very well, actually. And the snowfall grows heavier, reducing your visibility a bit, until you've travelled for another 2.5 hours. You should be in the vicinity now, and you're keeping your eyes, you're alert, you're keeping your eyes on what's coming up as you climb. And then ahead you will see a figure stood among the pine trees, back to turn to you. The figure isn't particularly tall, it's about 5'10". It's wearing rusty plate armor, helm, and they're so old they barely catch the light. They're battered and dented, and it's like it's been handed down for generations but looked after by none of those generations. They seem to be stood just staring silently upwards, and if you follow that gaze, it's at a ledge about 50 feet above, and as you get closer you can see swirling ghostly forms darting around and through this figure like an angry swarm of bees. These faces, mouths agape as if screaming but noiseless.
Have we seen this before?
It is familiar.
Does it remind us of our old friend, Olaf?
You know what? Yes it does.
Oh shit.
What's on?
I think we might, or I might at least, already know that ghostly apparition.
They friendly?
So.
Should go say hello then.
Can I tell from here whether it's just this the same kind of deal as Olaf, or is it actually Olaf?
I think you can tell it's Olaf. You've not seen anything like that before.
We could holler him over. Who's a friend.
Yes, we probably don't want to go shouting in this area though, so I think we're okay to approach. I'll lead the way.
As you approach, are you stealthily approaching or anything like that?
No, I don't want him to be surprised by us because that will not end well.
As you get a bit closer, it doesn't seem to be acknowledging your approach, but the ghostly forms will instantly retreat inside the armor until a lone spirit remains, holding its horned head in its own hands, and this ethereal form of absence stretches out their hands, holding their head, their faces full of anguish and sorrow. And you blink, and absence is gone, and only the armored figure remains.
Oh no!
Because I don't know how handouts work now, it's updated. Did I share the ghostly figure or the armored figure?
Armored figure.
Armor figure, but the tab
we
allows
can-
you to select the other one, yeah.
I
Matt,
fixed
you are
it.
me. Thank you.
I did it. Yeah. As the spirits retreat, Olaf will look around as if he realizes suddenly that someone's approaching. Ah, my friends. It's been a while. I seem to be missing a few.
Hello there.
Good day.
The
And who
Watcher
might you
just
be?
nods.
You seem to have lost the bard, and the monk, and the cleric. What news?
And I think you're aware of what has happened to the monk. The bard is at a nearby town. The cleric is dealing with things elsewhere.
I think for the sake of canon at this point, we'll say that your friend Milton stayed behind in Vallaki to help rebuild because he's a good boy.
Yeah. So yeah, dealing with things elsewhere. I should probably do introductions. Everyone, this is Olaf. Olaf, this is well, everyone it seems. Magus, Luca, the Watcher, and you know Graham.
You will hear, it's invisible, but from Alessander's shoulder, just a large sort of noise.
The little creature still has a sense of humor, I see.
The only way you survive in this place.
Well, no one survives forever.
And how do you lot know each other then?
I think it's safe to say that we did not agree on many things, and I have thought long and hard on our disagreements, and I think I owe you an apology. Even to your little abyssal friend, Alessander.
He's stuck here as much as the rest of us. It's not his place.
Your friend is with me. This place is a soul trap, and all who are not reborn seem to gather around me now. It is becoming draining. I cannot lie. It is a sign, I think, that things are coming to a head, that the times are growing more dangerous, that time is running out for you. Time is run out already for me, but there is hope. But it is slim.
What do you mean the spirits gather around you?
I don't know how long you have been here, friend, but this place is a prison, not just for the living, but for the dead as well.
But why you? Why do they gather around you?
Because I broke a promise. The men and women that I fought with, I promised I would die with them when we took on Strahd. They all died, and I only half died. And they are stuck to me like a magnet to a shield. They are angry I'm still living, and they are not. And it seems your tiefling friend is with me now as well. There is no road to the afterlife here. They are trapped. You cannot take down the mist. If you cannot take down Strahd, then he is stuck here forever, as are we.
We'll find a way home for him.
He is so very dour.
What, can you hear them?
I hear them all the time.
It's got to make sleeping a bit difficult.
I don't sleep. I haven't slept for 50 years.
No wonder you got them bags under your eyes.
So, what brings you here? Don't tell me you are here for the werewolves.
All right, we won't.
Why are you here?
Well, I have been keeping an eye on them. I have heard the rumor that there is to be an attack on Kresk, and I wish to ascertain if this is true or a rumor.
And how did you hear this rumor?
I have contacts.
You have people who are still willing to talk to you?
Not
Or are you
in
talking
Kresk.
about the dead?
Yes, I am talking about the dead.
That makes sense.
Well, it appears that we're on our way to talk to them anyway, see if it's true.
Oh, I've seen the number of them. I've watched them for some time. I stay downwind. I am not very quiet, but if I stand still, I don't make noise. There is a number of them now that have left in a hunting party. I believe there is at least 2 still down there. So if you wish to go now, may be a good time.
Sounds like good advice. Just want to chat mine, but if you do get a bit cross, then 2's better than parties of them.
Well, I don't know if you come prepared or not, but I have no silvered weapons for you.
What does Olaf use as... So he's got his ghost arm. But what was his main weapon?
Olaf definitely looks different to last time you saw him. He wore scale mail last time. He seems to be in plate now. Quite different. And he has a great sword on his back in a sheath.
Why the...
He also...
We should take the fucking great sword. Why the fuck didn't we take the great sword?
He has a Mourning star on a belt, and he also has a long sword on a belt, as well as a shield on his back. There's a crossbow at his side. He is heavily armed, but they all look quite tatty and rusty, almost like they've been taken from a tomb.
Wonder you can walk all that on.
Your body certainly looks sturdier than mine.
I think you and I have something in common, my friend. Do you only breathe to talk now?
Yes.
Then I fear we are lost, but we can help these save their souls.
Well, pleasure to meet you. If you're a friend of Alexander's, then you'll do me. Let's go speak to them. They're werewolves then.
No, thank you, Tom. It's just gone 10, and I think we will leave it there. Thank you, everybody. It's nice to see people in the chat. Hello. Thank you for watching. What did you
Yes.
think? Do you play D&D? Who are you? Talk to me. But also, please like and subscribe because we want
I
followers. We want to run a quiz when we get to 50 followers, and it's going to be really fun, okay?
First one.
The collective noun category for the quiz.
I enjoyed earlier on when Daffodilly Flowers made the comment of, "How can I destroy my beautiful Frankenson?"
Yeah.
It was when he died. It
funny.
was so hard. You want to mark the moment, but then that Graham on your shoulders, like say, Luca, I am your father.
No!
It's not true. It's impossible.
Oh, that was good fun. I thought, I'm sorry it was really RP heavy again, but I'm not sorry because it was some really amazing RP. Thank you, folks.
There were multiple moments where everyone nearly broke everyone.
I turned my camera off because I was nearly in tears.
Oh, I did cry. I cried.
know,
I
did
openly
too.
cry.
I'm very proud because I had my moment of like Luca's apology to Absence, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna protect you either time," and then Veronica looked like she was going, and then Matt's camera went off a few minutes later, and I was like, "Ha ha."
We should have just gone to suddenly. Stream will be back in 5 minutes.
No, it was good to keep it going. It was good to keep it going.
Emotional break time.
The Monty Python brief interval thing in the flying circus.
That stream was emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
I needed Graham in that. I needed him.
I hadn't planned any of those encounters with Graham, but I'm really glad we had them. It balanced it. I think we also forget he's there.
I don't. I remember. I just don't want him to get hurt, so I don't want to put him at the forefront of things. And I keep sending him off on his little invisible missions, and he makes me so proud. But I'm so scared.
He's ugly though.
He's very ugly.
He is beautiful and
mean.
precious in his own way.
Can I also just say, because we're not going to see them again for a while, I don't think, but after last week when I had my little flags to try and differentiate between the accents, I came prepared, it just didn't feel right for the tone. So whenever Victor spoke, I was going to use this wand that I just happened to have.
Okay. Yeah.
Just happened to have a one lying around.
It's one of the Noble Collection's wands of, they remake the wands from the Harry Potter series. This is Severus Snape's wand, obviously.
Of
As
course.
we established pre-stream, I am Snape stan. And for Esmeralda, we were just gonna put a little...
I like it.
put an earring in quickly, can't I?
Oh yeah, when you're wearing headphones.
I mean,
Yeah.
good to quick change every time you stop.
Yeah.
We'd have the temptation would have been for us to have engineered a conversation between Ez and
Yeah.
Victor.
Like, all this time going, I'm Ez, you can see I'm Ez, right? I also had something for Dimitri, but you might meet him sooner rather than later, so we're going to keep that under wraps. But yeah, we're going full puppet theatre.
I have got, is it spare? because I have a real moustache, I don't need it. I've got a big stick-on handlebar moustache if you want it.
Do you want to see Dimitri?
Oh, you've already got one.
Yes.
Sort of
Come
want to
on,
see it now,
sneak peek.
especially if it involves a massive moustache.
It's a beard.
I am Dmitry Kretskov. I am the burgomaster of this town. I will make sure everyone is saved. How can you not take me seriously?
You're gonna have that round your neck and just like whip it up every time.
It's like if you hold the wand, you're all three of them at the same time.
So,
Oh yeah, you have to remember to take bits off, don't you? This was always a bad idea, but
It suits
Yeah.
you, weirdly.
so if we have the beard for, I feel that like each should be some kind of facial, like some extra thing. So for Esmeralda, could we have like a wig? And just
didn't have to. I feel like
Well-
I want to, if I get a wig, I want a good quality wig, so you have to touch and feel it, and this is from Amazon.
yeah, I think that for Victor, at some point he could lose an eye, and an eye patch would just perfect.
I looked for an eye patch.
Of
Uh,
course.
There are. You can't see how many props there are beside me.
I salute your dedication.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
kind of
This is actually quite warm for the winter.
They are quite warm.
You know the it's like hair mascara where it's got a bit of like colour to it and you just mascara it through your hair. I kind of want to get a white one of those for Matt so he can Olav a bit.
I'll just
I'll
stop
play it.
dyeing it.
But it's got to be. It looks from Olav's picture. It looks very white. So
Yeah, it is. My hair's very silver on the back, on top of my head.
We can never see that because you're so tall.
no, yeah.
What a blessing for you.
Yeah. No, seriously, guys, I was really proud of you all tonight. I was, I know it's probably a bit weird with me being here but being quiet, but I really enjoyed all of your role play. It was amazing. I see why Jim enjoys dying so much, and I think Daffodilly Flowers has been in, Aventurian. Who else has been in? Quite a load of people have been in tonight, so it's been really nice. Yeah, it's been really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was nice just to sit back and let you guys role play your little hearts out.
I'm just
Company of
so-
the Unicorn as well.
I was about to say I misread Company of the Unicorn, and I think I read it as Company of Unicorns, and I was wondering if Company was the collective noun for
No,
unicorns.
no, it's a blessing or a fantasy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't think this is correct, but I like the idea that it is, especially considering the conversation that we had. But I love the fact that you're like, no, it's blessing or a fantasy. Be corrected.
To be honest, it's
Come
not one
correct
you're
your-
going to need to use very often. It's hard enough saying one unicorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the fact that it's correcting me on collective nouns for unicorns is V's moment for come correct or get corrected.
Not tolerate errors. I'm glad I got it right then.
This pub
Oh,
quiz I
dear.
was talking about earlier, I said it was a blessing. They said it was a fantasy. It was a whole thing. It's given me trauma for life over that question.
Okay.
It can
Okay.
be whatever you
Well-
want it to be because it's unicorns.
This is true.
There's hair in my mouth now.
Did
Yeah,
not
that
be like
happens
a
with
horn
beard.
section.
What's that, Hazel? Sorry.
I tried to make a joke about a horn section, but it didn't work.
Oh, no, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
It's obscured by other people talking.
But whilst we have all of you lovely people here, maybe we can stay on a little longer and chat if you want. But also, yeah, please like and subscribe, and we stream every Sunday at between about 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock British Standard Time.
We
when it's
do
not just
sometimes start a
us.
bit late.
Yeah, we're not very organised.
That's normally my fault, and I'm sorry.
No.
Um,
And sorry for all the cameras moving around tonight. It's a new setup. I only did it this afternoon and it kept glitching on Tom for some reason. His camera kept pinging across the screen. I don't know why. So sorry for that. I will fix it for next time.
Fidget, I can't help it.
We
Just
we
can't sit
alternate
still.
between Curse of Strahd and Out the Abyss, which Matt runs as DM. So this week it's Curse of Strahd, next week it'll be Out the Abyss, and so on and so forth. And sometimes when our lovely DM Steve has time, he will run Icewind Dale when he can. And you can find all of our past streams of those on YouTube. Yeah.
Including streams that include the talking whale, because everyone needs Anchor Duke in their life.
Whale, yeah.
It's like Graham was never. He was just a really random enemy for you, but the way you latched onto him, he's become something so different.
I nat 20'd on catching him so many times.
You did. It was like 20 after 20 after 20. It was ridiculous.
It's like, oh, got him. Oh, we got away. Got him. Oh, got him. It had to be a
Hazel's
thing.
definitely playing D&D like it's Pokemon.
Yes, I think that is where my understanding of like fantasy games has come from, and I will catch them all.
With this, I can't. How do we do this? The skull is hiding my Pikachus. Like, what are you trying to say, Matt?
Oh, there's a book I wanted to recommend to Hazel at some point for looking for more D&D pet companions. Is that your oddish?
Yeah, I don't know this.
I
Sit
did love
next to me.
the way Matt introduced my character in Out of the Abyss. It's a bit of a Hazel trap introducing my Drake first.
Yeah. I knew they were in.
It was so difficult to play my actual character, who has already adopted a mushroom but wasn't overly bothered about the mushroom at first, and me going like,
"Mushroom?
In your mushroom?" And my character having to be like, let them die. Because Hazel struggled with that.
You did find it hard.
They chose two really cute looking characters just to try and
Yeah, Honey Trap.
I'm a big Spyro fan. So a goth Spyro is everything I've ever wanted in life.
Daffy Dilly Flowers would also adopt mushrooms, it seems. Yeah.
Because they're amazing. Like, Stool he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. And he must be protected at all costs. And if that means letting the rest of the party die, I'll do it.
Yeah, just for daffodillies, if you go back and watch the episode, I think they had a particularly bad fight. Half the party was down, some of them were close to death. She chose to go and heal the mushroom. She chose to heal the mushroom.
My last spell slot saved that mushroom. Screw everyone else.
Yeah, so Goth Spyro may have been intentional. Sorry.
Veronica is showing us her things.
Showing you my stuff.
I'm starting to feel like there's a toy for every possible conversation in Veronica's little room there.
I want to tell Hazel, I think I found someone who could make us a Graham.
So I've been talking to a friend at work about crocheting stuff.
Of course you have.
Because why not? I've made friends for this particular purpose. Like, oh, you're into crafts? Let's talk. So we can make this work.
We can make a Graham work.
We can have a different Graham for every day of the week.
And because I tell Jim everything about Curse of Strahd because I get way too excited about it, and he knows Curse of Strahd because he's running it.
I will be having my session 0 this Friday. It will be the best campaign I've ever run.
Finally, you're at the werewolf den, and I can show them my things.
Yes, you can. Close off the
tune
stream
into
with
the
your
werewolf
thing.
den. It's gonna be great.
excited on that note.
Yeah,
Next time.
definitely. Well, I guess, is there any other messages before we wrap up?
Right?
Raid. Let's raid somewhere.
I would like to
Yeah.
raid.
Oh, we'll raid Robert Hartley GM. He's the guy that does the Viva La Dirt League D&D. English guy, I think, lives in New Zealand. Very good. He doesn't need our eight watchers, but
Why not?
why not?
Every little helps when it comes to stream networking.
Exactly.
Honest.
Exactly. Oh, we seem to have 9. Right. I'm going to ping you over. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Both you guys and everyone watching.
Thank
So
you
we'll
for all of that lovely RP. Really lovely.
Hmm.
session. Thank you, guys.
It was beautiful. You made me cry. You gits.
Haha. Fuck you.
It's nice.
Yeah, it was good. That was really good
Who
tonight.
are all those people? I did, just before we went live, I posted in Twitch stream